573-5910 to learn how you can become part of Denver Community Television.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Kids in Space!
What a simply ghastly looking place. What's going on here?
Yeah, what do you like to do?
I like to play rock and roll in a wild rock and roll band and spend all my time with my great groovy friends.
Oh boy. I hope that goes on tape.
On the air.
Hello. I'm Squad from Gigs in Space. Howdy hi, shindiggers out there. Well, tonight's our very last shindig, and boy, we got a bang-up cast for you.
Weird.
Featuring Ron Mayfield of Gigs in Space, of Quads in Space. A quad who goes to Gigs in Space. He's truly a remarkable man, and it's about time, I think, he was allowed to speak to the public. Secondly, Ron, I'd like to ask you what you think of the band Nobody.
They are good.
Thank you. Thank you. There you have it, folks. They are good. Well, could you give us any personal explanations?
No, they don't play my favorite music.
Would you mind if we asked you what your favorite music might be?
Country Western.
What?
Country Western.
Country Western. Western.
Country Western.
Country Western.
Country Western.
Say it aloud so the whole neighborhood can hear you.
Country Western.
Yeah, go man, go. Go man, go. There you have it, folks. Ron's favorite type of music is country western. Could you tell us why? Why doesn't Nobody play your favorite type of music?
They're a rock and roll band.
Yeah, more about Quads in Space.
More about Quads in Space, yes. We'd like to ask you personally how you feel being the president of the local chapter of Quads in Space.
I don't like it.
You don't like it? Would you rather not have been elected in this position?
Yeah.
Because the polls showed that you had a 60% topple over some of the other candidates.
I rather be in the country western band.
You wanted to be in a country western band. Is there any particular band you would like to be in?
I hope we
Let me sneak in here. Well, it looks like our last anchorman got fired here, so we had nobody for live meet. Nobody. I'm filling in for nobody. How you doing? Welcome to Gigs in Space. We're having an interview here with the Vice President of Quads in Space Program, Ron Mayfield. I tell you, what happened to your sunglasses, Ron? They fall off? happens in outer space sometimes, doesn't it? What other things do you enjoy about outer space here?
You're nuts.
Do you like not being in gravity? What do you think about that? Where you can just float around. You don't have to like be using your wheelchair. Huh? You like taking showers in anti-gravity?
You're weird.
Is that all you've got to say? Here we brought you all the way here, all the way from the Quads and Space Program in the N7
funny.
sector.
It's funny.
You came here to have a laugh. Well, the guys come here to have a laugh. What can you expect?
Did you hear? Did you hear? One of our TV men.
Who?
TV people died today.
I see what?
Lucio Paul.
Oh, that was years ago. That was way in the past. This is in the future, Ron.
Okay.
Yeah, we're way in the future, Ron. Get your times together.
Okay. What else?
What do you think about the new Quads and Space Program? You enjoy being together up in outer space with all
Oh
the
yeah?
quad? Yeah. Have you been to the moon yet?
Nope.
No. Just been around the Earth very many times.
Yep.
What do you think about being able? You know how the things that you can do is like, what do you think about having your birthday whenever you want? All you have to do is go around the sun. You don't have to wait for the Earth anymore to go around the sun. You can just zoom around and have your birthday whenever. What do you think about that kind of stuff? Huh?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
lit.
This one.
What are we doing here?
We're interviewing you on Quads and Space. Well, anyway, what we want to do is we're here because we're raising funds for the Quads and Space program. So we'd like to invite you all to donate your quids to Quads and Space. And you can donate your quads as well. We'll accept any people that are interested in our new program. It's quite beneficial. You can get full range of assistance with the Quads and Space program. Anything you can get on Earth, you can get it twice as good in space. So, Ron, we're really happy to have you with us here today. We hope you come and see us again sometime, all right? And we hope you enjoy some of the shows on Gigs in Space.
So, what's going on here? I mean, I come into this place quite uninvited, I know. But, just what the point of this question is what? What are we trying to find out here? Reptiles abounding. Howdy, hi. We're back here. I'm here to interview the rabbi, and for the rabbi here to interview me. We're sitting in our lovely backyard that we've just recently purchased after thousands of space tours. We've been
Gigs in
all
space.
across the universe
It's a lovely plant. What
and through several air crashes.
what galaxy is this one from?
This is from the planet Andromeda, as I recall. It's a special breed, and it's a weird feces.
Feces?
Species.
Why did you say feces?
Why did I say feces? Well, I've had some pretty heavy things on my mind. And, feces are just a part of humanity, but actually I meant to say species. So how long you been around Beverly Hills now? Kind of living it up?
We just moved in yesterday, actually, wasn't it?
Yesterday, well, we usually mainly use these mostly, perhaps quite a bit, most oftenly so, for interviews and public parties, which involve many space aliens
I'll say.
from the planet Alsay.
So we want to welcome you to another one of the infinite episodes of Gigs in Space. We have Herr Zsolt from Hungary today, and we're going to be talking about things like the band Crash Worship. They're going to be coming to Earth in Denver soon. And what do you think of the band Crash Worship?
Yeah, I heard about this. I saw the video at the junkyard. It's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, I haven't seen them here, and I would be glad if I can make some noise in there or something. Okay. Boros pincék nyomakodnak a szemembe, szemembe nyomakodnak a szemembe. Magas fogó húzza fogam. Kerekek gördülnek, vödrök kondulnak. Kerekek gördülnek, vödrök kondulnak. Kerekek vödrök kondulnak. Éhes szájak kattognak, fogak csattognak.
We're here today from Out of the Future to talk about ways we can bring the future into effect a bit sooner. We have a new world government system that we want to present to the Earth at this time, and this would allow people to incorporate televiewing telephone system into use with a computer system that would be international on a level that people could get access to information on all levels about human affairs. This system could be received by every person who would wish to join this new government branch. They would receive the home televiewing system and $1 million credit into their account. And this $1 million would be delivered to them within the credit system, and they'd be allowed to use the interests. And so that if they did work in this system, say once or twice a week, they would be assured of having credit and security for the rest of their lives. And also this system would allow for the education all to fuse together with every sort of human endeavor. We would like business and college and arts and entertainment would all become one, so that people could work in the education system on all levels from whenever they decided they were ready to teach or work or train or develop in any field that they'd wish to develop in. This would somewhat eliminate the government systems of the world at this time, because the people would all become one with the government. The telephone system would be a body of democracy that would allow all people to vote within the system and make rules and communicate with each other and make decisions on an international level through the computers. This system could easily be incorporated. The phone companies at this time have already developed a home computer televiewing system that is used in some businesses at this time. It could easily be expanded upon and developed quite soon. As far as that goes, if this system were incorporated, the stocks of the phone company would go up quite a bit, as well as computer companies, and the money where this company would come from basically would be out of the future. We could easily borrow money from the future and deliver it to this time, because of course everyone believes the future does exist, or we wouldn't bother worrying about tomorrow. So we could just do this, allow people to receive what they wish, and hook up with the system right away. It just depend on, making a decision. The other thing about the system is that, everybody who was using it could communicate with themselves, any type of image they wish to program into the computer, or they could communicate with an image that was every image of people who were using the system, or it couldn't make up images for them, depending on what sort of person they were comfortable with communicating with. A lot of the other funds that could come into supporting the system would be easily accessible from the funds that go into government branches at this time, since government branches would be unnecessary. People could work about once or twice a week, depending on their abilities, and this would allow for many more job openings. There would be plenty of jobs for everyone. There would be the school systems, as far as that goes, is really a waste of human resources at this time, because a lot of people in the schools could actually be doing quite a bit more for the society instead of just sitting in a classroom and having facts put in their mind. So this would give them an opportunity to start supporting themselves through various ways, because we could consider every person both a teacher and a student on every level, because everyone has something they can offer to someone else, and they also have things that they would like to learn. This gives people more time to be creative on their own, so that they could have time to do the things as far as their dreams and their concerns would be. This makes it more free for them to have the time to do their jobs properly, because there wouldn't be as much of a rush around. It would also eliminate a lot of traffic on the road, so there would be less people out around, which would reduce accidents a lot too. Because more people could spend the time at home. A lot of people wouldn't have to go to school, because the home computer system could give them most of the information they wanted to anyway. So there would be less necessity for people to travel around, so it would be more, you know, when people wanted to get out, they could, and there would be things would be more open on a 24-hour basis. The education system could be more or less a learning, research, and development system, so it worked on all levels of human affairs. That because of influences at this time, because people have already kind of grown up in the traditions of our society at this time, as society changed, people would more or less, young people, lose a lot of their incentive to learn, especially by the time they're 5 or 6. 75% of their learning capabilities have already been shut off just because of the way they've been educated. So having a more expanded way of learning, they would realize that there's more things that they could be doing with their time. So it would make it so that the people who haven't had this system would have to actually, you know, if they wanted to be more aware, would have to compete a bit just to keep up with the learning tactics or the things that people started knowing that they aren't used to knowing. Because there's a lot that our education system could offer that it doesn't offer at all. Problem with population ends up being not so much that there's a lot of people, it ends up being more or less there's a lot of people who are uneducated or unwilling to learn or know what they can do to keep themselves or even make themselves survive. There's like, our planet is not really overpopulated, but it's like run by people who don't know how to use what they have. A great deal of people who have a lot of access to resources, it ends up being wasted and not used properly. There are ways that our cities could produce much more food just within the cities. I mean, we have plenty of space that could be developed just by the education systems. Our education systems waste a lot of time having people do very little productiveness for society, but part of our learning could be how, you know, developing.
Learning could completely rectify that?
It would do a lot more than aspects that our culture is using right now to solve problems. Our education system is our main aspect of how to change things and how to solve what our problems have been as far as like polluting our environment. Not that, you know, pollution doesn't exist naturally anyway, it's just that we create more of it and we don't put as much of a system into stopping it, so that becomes a problem with the way we poison our environment. We have to learn ways that we can survive within these poisons, and those things aren't part of our education system yet either. Our system more or less teaches people to be ill, to get sick, because it supports that in a way, because that's one of the powerful industries, like the oil industry. It wants to survive. If we taught people how to be healthy from a younger age, then our medical industry would be almost unnecessary. That's the way it is at this point, anyway.
See, it can be offered, basically. It's not saying that it has to force people. It's just available to people. And they would, if a person wanted to be a part of this system, basically, they would just sign up with a phone company to receive their phone hookup, and that would become the new world order, would be run by the technical phone systems. And it's mostly set up to be run by the people who'd want to be a part of it, because there's people, the ones who decide that's what they want. Because basically what this will eventually, unless there is like a downfall or another dark ages, eventually this system will come to life on its own, and no one will really have to do anything. It'll just eventually, technology will create it. It'll be just a natural course of events. This is just a way of bringing it in the future into the present at a sooner pace.
I know you over there.
And you can get all the sound just from out of these little batteries.